Chris here, and it's an exciting day today because I've just got my latest order delivered from Popcultcha, which is effectively Australia's biggest online toy store. So in this box on my lap, we've got one Marvel thing and two DC things. And my t-shirt will give you a bit of a hint as to what the Marvel thing is. So here's the lovely box from Popcultcha. Let's open it up. Inside that lovely Popcultcha box were these three items. So we've got the corner box Spider-Man figure, and we've got the Ray and Max Mercury, two obscure DC Comics characters, and they were both on sale, so I was happy to get those. I've had my eye on both of them for a while, and inside the box was a nice little surprise. This is the first time I've seen this kind of sticker from Popcultcha. Just lovely green kind of foil, which is pretty cool. Maybe it's green because we just had St. Patrick's Day, I don't know. But we've also just had a look at the new Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, so it seems fitting to open Spider-Man first. In the world of comics, a corner box is something that is obviously a little box in the corner, and this is a new thing that Todd McFarlane is doing with his company. So this is one of his most famous pieces of artwork from the cover of Spider-Man #1, and he's basically recreated this corner box in, well, I was going to say action figure form, but it's not. It's more like a mini statue of such. So this is a very famous piece of art from him, from the Amazing Spider-Man issue #1. And as I said, that is what we're looking at here. So this is the first one of these I've got from mcfarlanetoys. They do some DC ones as well, but I think it was only available on mcfarlanetoys' website of Batman and Superman, which I'd love to get, but they were quite expensive. So I think this was 50, maybe 60 bucks. But because I love action figures and comics, it's a perfect amalgamation of both. So yeah, hopefully they do more of these, and as you can see inside we get a little trading card with the artwork as well. So I love that they've taken the corner box and recreated it in 3D. Enough jibber jabber, let's open it up. I must say, be careful getting it out of the box. There's tape and ties and all kind of things, so yes, don't be forceful with it. But yes, as you can see, it's a 3D recreation of the corner box, as I said. The back and this part are just cardboard, so just be careful of that as well, and that can just kind of come out, and this part gets removed as well if you so desire, and they just kind of slip into the base, the lines on the base, and he's just connected by a little stand on the back. So yes, I mean, I guess you could kind of, you know, pose him around or whatever, but he's not an articulated figure. But I think this will make a lot of people like myself who are 80s 90s Marvel Comics fans very happy, and this will just look really awesome on the shelf. As I said, it does come with a card. It's interesting that this card, it's a recreation obviously of the cover that this is based on, doesn't mention Todd McFarlane anywhere. It's his company, mcfarlanetoys, and it's his artwork, but it doesn't say based on the artwork of cover artist Todd McFarlane or anything like that. But that's quite okay. Everybody, you know, once you know, you know. So yes, I hope they do more of these. They look pretty cool. I know McFarlanetoys have been getting into more cover recreations. They'll be doing like different helmets and masks of various Marvel and DC superheroes, which is awesome. JB Hi-Fi actually sell a lot of them, which is great. But yes, here we go. So as I said, it's all cardboard really, the back, and obviously this is just a PVC or whatever plastic figure. But let's have a bit of a closer look at Spider-Man hanging upside down. He does look pretty awesome. They've done a good job with some shading as well, and as you can see, the webs are kind of all hanging down as well. So yeah, there is a bit of flex with these, which is fine, but just be careful, you know, there's not too much flex on Spider-Man himself. But with the black parts and stuff, yeah, they've done a fabulous job. And if you're curious, this corner box figure is basically the same scale as a 6-inch Marvel Legends. Here's a Spider-Man 2099 figure. I've tried to get in the same kind of pose, and you can see that they're pretty much the same size. So yes, that kind of fits in with your Marvel Legends. But yeah, pretty cool to have a very comic accurate figure on the toy shelf, and I hope we get more of these in the future. Next up, from McFarlanetoys, and we have a very obscure DC Comics character. I got this figure, Max Mercury, because he was on sale. So I think it's like 25 bucks from Popcultcha. So Max Mercury is a very obscure character from 1940. I think he originally debuted and laid dormant for quite some time. And then Mark Waid, when writer Mark Waid took over The Flash in 1993, and later Impulse, he brought back this 1940s character as a bit of a mentor to Impulse and also to Wally West. So I have some fond memories of this character in the pages of the 90s Flash comics. A bit of an odd costume. They never really changed it, even though they kind of revamped him in the 90s. But lovely packaging, the traditional packaging from McFarlanetoys that we used to, with the names on both sides, and some lovely artwork. So that's got to be Ethan Van Sciver artwork, I would say, probably from the Flash Rebirth line, I would say. Yeah, I can't say that for sure, but I think so. So yeah, some wonderful artwork. Even the slightly goofy costume looks cool there, and you can see that we've got some lightning effects, the stand, and the trading card as well. So let's open up Max Mercury. He's looking pretty good, Max Mercury. So we get the familiar DC Comics stand with the peg hole, so that's always a nice touch, and the trading card that we're familiar with as well. So as I said, Max Mercury is a pretty obscure character, so you probably know who he is, but just in case you don't, there's a bit of a bio of him on the back. So a bit of a 19th century speedster who's been traveling through time, and then you also get some cool blue lightning kind of speed effects. So we've seen these before with the Impulse figure, but you've got two shorter ones to go on the ankles and two longer ones to go on the arms, I think. And I think this might even be the first Max Mercury figure we've ever got, actually. So yes, all in blues, but different shades of blue, which is pretty awesome. Got the standard McFarlane articulation with the double jointed knees and elbows as well. Wonderful butterfly joints on the top there, and it's even got some lovely chest hair. Very nice, and the odd kind of costume kind of works though. So yes, pretty cool that you can get him into these kind of poses for a running character. So yes, I'm sure the display stand will come in pretty handy for that. It's interesting that they've kind of got the collar in that permanent kind of shape, but I guess it does add some form of emotion to him. And he doesn't come with any other accessories in the box, so no other fists or heads. So yes, he does come with a punching fist and a gripping hand, so no actual like kind of running straight flat hands, unfortunately, but that's okay, you can still make it work. So yeah, I don't know why they've given him that left hand. It's not like he's going to be holding a knife or a gun or anything, but anyway, yes. But yeah, pretty cool. I mean, I do like it. It looks like this kind of grey whitish has a bit of a wash to it, a bit of a texture, and the different blues certainly mix up the colour and the sculpt as well. So he's not very plain looking, and as you can see, he looks pretty similar to his costume on the back of the card and the back of the box. So I'm very happy that I waited until Max Mercury was at a cheaper price, but yeah, he'll go pretty cool with the other speedsters on my shelf. As I said, you can put the lightning effects on his ankles or his wrists, and it's pretty cool that they're kind of multicolored, a bit transparent in places, but yeah, it looks like he's running, or you know, he's just kind of stopped, just like on the back of the box there. So there's no particular way to do them, but yeah, once you work them out, they stay on there pretty cool, and they're relatively flexible as well, so they're not a hard plastic, so they can be pretty pliable and moldable where you want them to go. But yeah, not bad. It's good to have some lightning effects. Just like Max Mercury, the Ray here was also a figure I'd had my eyes on for a while, so I thought I'd scoop it up while it was cheap from Popcultcha. But the similarities don't end there. The Ray also, just like Max Mercury, was a character first introduced in DC Comics in 1940. Well, actually introduced in Quality Comics, and then DC Comics bought Quality Comics and bought the character and a few others over. And again, like Max Mercury, a character long dormant and was rebooted, revitalized in the mid-90s, thanks to artist Joe Quesada as well, who really brought his kinetic style. So yes, I used to read the Ray as a in my teenage years, so he's basically got like light-based powers. So this isn't the exact costume he had in the 90s, but it's close enough. I've always liked the fin head and the white, black and gold of his costume. And this figure itself is from 2018, I believe, from Mattel's DC Multiverse line. I like the packaging, and just it's got the little divot there. It's pretty cool packaging design. We flip it over, got some wonderful artwork on the back there, and this is part of the Builder figure wave, where you can build Lex Luthor in his kind of Superman suit. And the other figures, even though they're not named, are Vixen. That's the Elseworlds Batman and the Gotham by Gaslight, I think, like the Jack the Ripper kind of era. That's the Ray and Wonder Woman there. So some pretty cool characters as well to choose from. So I don't think this line lasted very long. But yes, I'm not going to get the other figures to build Lex. I think the Ray here just comes with Lex's arms, you can see there. But let's open up the Ray and let him breathe. As the back of the box says, this is part of the DC Rebirth line, and says Ray Terrell steps into the light and shines bright as a member of Batman's new JLA, and he certainly does that here. So here's the figure in all of his wonderful glory. He looks almost like a 90s rap star or something. A very cool outfit. He comes with a couple of Lex Luthor's arms, which I will not use because, as I said, I'm not going to get the whole wave unless I see them, you know, really cheap. So there's a couple of Build-A-Figure parts where I don't know what to do with. They'll go in a bin or a bag somewhere. Another different head with a bit of a smiling face, which is very nice. And yes, so he's got the more stoic face on at the moment. And just a couple of hands as well, so a couple of different gloves. So pretty cool. I mean, yes, he's definitely got pretty much just 3 colors. It's a plastic jacket, not a soft soft goods, but that's fine. It gets out the way easy enough, and as I say, relatively articulated, even though the figure's from 2018. Articulation is kind of what we expect. So yes, pretty cool. He's pretty articulated. You can get him in some good poses. The head obviously just pops straight off. Well, obviously, let's try it. Oh gosh, that was a bit of a terrifying snap. And then you can put the more smiling face on. Oh gosh, I mean, he's been in cardboard for, you know, almost a decade, but there we go. So yeah, he looks like he's ready for action there, and the wrists as well can come off too, hopefully just a bit easier. Let's see if I can do that. Oh gosh, this is difficult. Okay, they're actually pretty gummy, but gee, I don't know if that's just the... Oh, there we go, age of the plastic. It doesn't come with any accessories, so he's not going to be holding anything. So just a couple of fist hands and a couple of holding hands. I guess he could... Oh, I don't know what... I mean, he doesn't really use weapons in the comics, but yeah, pretty cool. And the tampos on here are pretty good with the gold, white. There's no... I've got some tape on my finger there. There's no dirt or scuffing or paint or anything like that. But yeah, it looks pretty awesome. So yeah, pretty articulation. He's not a beefy, bulky guy. He was always a younger guy in his late teens or early 20s in the comics. But yes, they've nailed the look pretty well. So pretty happy to have a Ray figure, another obscure DC Comics character, to my shelf. Peter, Max and Ray look pretty good together, so very happy to get these 3 items from Popcultcha, especially Max Mercury and Ray on sale. So yes, I certainly hope McFarlane makes more of those corner boxes. The Spider-Man looks pretty good, and it's a good combination of action figures and comics, both of the things I love. So thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I'll catch you at the next one. Goodbye, geeks.